And we will come to find that Western civilization was saved through Charlie's sacrifice in the only way possible, by returning the people to Almighty God.
A task force, brand new, to eradicate anti-Christian bias. About time, right? Anti-Christian bias. It was God that saved me. I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry.
We've turned the other cheek, and I understand. I understand sort of the biblical reference. I understand the mentality. But it's gotten us nothing. Okay? It's gotten us...
Who likes the 10 Commandments, by the way, going up in the schools? They think it's such a bad thing. I said, has anyone read the "Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt..." I mean, has anybody read this incredible stuff? It's just incredible. They don't want it to go up.
The White House Faith Office, to be led by Pastor Paula White.
To be a great nation, however, you have to have faith, you have to have God. Prayers strengthen, prayers heal, prayer empowers, and prayer saves. We're going to rededicate America as one nation under God. You know, a lot of people...
One of the hosts here, So North, and this is my fellow host, K-Dot. As we always say in our videos, we're neither on the right or the left, but we're on God's side. The political left and the political right all together working to take away our freedoms eventually. And as the Bible said, that no man might buy or sell except he received a mark. So with no further ado, we're going to jump right into this.
So there's this movement called Project 2025. And by now, I'm pretty sure you've heard of it. It's an initiative to really change the nature of this country and the trajectory this nation has been on.
The Project 2025 plan is not a game.
It got a lot of attention in 2024, and even Trump tried to distance himself from it, although his ties to major architects of the plan have said otherwise.
This is a great group, and they're going to lay the groundwork and detail plans for exactly what our movement will do and what your movement will do when the American people give us a colossal mandate to save America, and that's coming. Heritage Foundation president, somebody else doing an unbelievable job. He's bringing it back to levels it's never seen. Dr. Kevin Roberts, this Project 25, and I don't even know. I mean, some of them I know who they are. He's involved in Project, and then they read some of the things, and they are extreme. I mean, they're seriously extreme. But I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it. They wrote a document that many of the points are fine. Many of the points are absolutely ridiculous. I have nothing to do with the document. I've never seen the document. I've seen certain things that are said in it.
But the administration is actually carrying out a lot of the agendas that are in the document, like the issues over tariffs, immigration, education, and giving the president more power. But Project 2025 is less about mere politics, and what it's truly about is religion. Those behind it are trying to enforce their vision of Christian nationalism, and they're hoping that many Christians support it due to fears about the state of Christianity. A lot of people who are Christians and fellow believers, they're seeing the rapid increase in immorality in the nation, which, I mean, we all can see that things have been going down an interesting path, but they want to bring morals back. They want to bring godly values back in society, but the way they want to do it is the problem. They want to do it by using the power of the government instead of using simply the power of the gospel. They're trying to unite the two.
Particular vision of America.
You cannot separate God from politics. You can't take him out of our government.
But in a country deeply divided, the Christian right has found a new voice. With pastors preaching its message in churches and its beliefs guiding ultra-conservative candidates.
I'm a Christian and I say it proudly. We should be Christian nationalists.
The church is supposed to direct the government. The government is not supposed to direct the church. That is not how our founding fathers intended it. And I'm tired of this separation of church and state junk that's not in the Constitution. It was in a stinking letter, and it means nothing like what they say it does.
The movement is known to many as Christian nationalism.
We are the Christian Taliban.
Some are warning that this is fundamentally undemocratic.
We're going to protect Christianity, and I can say that. I don't have to be politically correct.
They're told over and over and over again that you're in danger.
You need to fight if you don't want to lose your country.
We are in a civil war between good and evil.
This is not a movement about Christian values. This is about Christian power.
What happens to the people who don't believe this stuff?
I think it's a verse in Daniel chapter 11 that speaks of the king of the north and the king of the south.
That's right. That's right.
And we're not going to get into too many details on that, but it talks about these two kings, king of the north and the king of the south. They both speak lies at one table, which means they are out for the same agenda. And sometimes we are so divided in this country where we want to take sides, and we want to say that our side is more important than the other person's side, or and we have the right way, and we want to force, but really, if we look behind the scenes, even Jesus himself said about Satan, K-Dot, he was like, a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand.
Wow.
So these agendas are definitely not divided against themselves. It seems like they are, because they're dividing to conquer.
Dividing to conquer. There's something really interesting on the Economist magazine cover for the year 2017. That year was the 500th anniversary of the Protestant Reformation, and it was the year that Trump would serve his first presidency. And on the cover of that magazine, you saw a card with two sides fighting, bringing down a tower, with one side representing the secular left and the other side with a cross representing the religious right. And that tower had a cross as well, but with a door with a note nailed to it. This represented the Protestant Reformation, where Christians were protesting the Catholic Church and they wanted to go back to the Bible. So what the magazine was actually saying was that the Protestant movement exalting the Bible and protesting Catholic tradition is over, and that the division between the left and the right would bring the end of it.
Yeah, America was founded Protestant. Look at how that's going. And I think that the problems with Protestantism reflect in the problems with America, which is a spirit of rebelliousness.
It is.
We're liberated. And liberation is not really a Christian word.
That's not true.
We're going to have to need to reverse that rebellion and submit on some level to some form of authority, moral authority, ecclesiastical authority. On some level, it's a mistake that America doesn't have any kind of king.
Brothers and sisters, Luther's protest is over. Is yours. If there is no more protest, how can there be a Protestant church? Maybe we're all Catholics again.
What an odd thing to say.
We're seeing a push for more religion today, but it doesn't mean that society is getting more godly or Christ-like. In fact, many believers are feeling the need to crusade and fight for their values. And this division between groups is growing. If you look at the Paris Olympics in 2024, it highlighted this division in the world between the left and the right pretty clearly, with many Christians outraged at the opening ceremony.
Mocking the Last Supper. We're trying to mock Christianity, obviously.
Catholics and Christians across the globe are outraged.
I'm very open-minded, but I thought what they did was a disgrace.
Would they ever have dared mock Islam in a similar way?
And many desiring for church traditions to return. But is the outrage we're seeing today about biblical Christianity or something else?
Mocking in this gross, public way.
What a lot of people don't realize is that was the whole point. The theme of the Paris Olympics was the French Revolution. They even chose the symbol of the French Revolution as a mascot. And the revolution was a reaction to the Catholic Church state control and tyranny in France. But the revolution got a little extreme, and they began to outlaw religion entirely.
Even when we look at the term
left and right.
Yeah, right. It was coined during the French Revolution. And we see where the right was really those who were on the side of the papacy.
Those who supported the revolution sat on the left side of their National Assembly, and those who supported the church and the king sat on the right.
City of Light, known as a romantic city. So much literature written or said here involves love.
Because of the tyranny of the Catholic Church in France and Europe during the Dark Ages, the Revolution saw everything that was connected to religion as oppressive, including restrictions on sexuality. The push for Christian nationalism today goes back to the desire to restore church and state power lost during the French Revolution. But the desire to push religious values by force like it was done during the Dark Ages is not the Christianity of the Bible. The gospel doesn't work by force. Jesus said to Pilate, my kingdom is not of this world, So we can't think that by adopting the methods of the world, we can somehow win the world.
What is Project 2025? This is the movement. We are going to prepare day one, January 2025, to hit the ground running as conservatives to really help the next president.
Now, we are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
You have to find a way to talk about that issue that neutralizes the disdain that half the electorate has for what I might just call the Catholic position.
We have to bring religion back. We have to bring it back much stronger. They say separation between church and state, they told me. I said, all right, let's forget about that for one time. Really? The separation? I don't know. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?